right? What's up, everybody? Welcome back to your CELTIC Source, home of all the latest information, stats, and facts, and opinions about the Celtics. We're doing something new. We're doing Statistics Saturday episode, something we might try and do a little bit more of. We've got a bunch of stats, and we're going to discuss about them, talk about how this team is going. First stat I want to give you, Zach, 4-6 through 10 games. What do you think?
So the 4-6 is not well off of the 500 record that I think most people have this team finishing somewhere around. But you've had a pretty easy schedule to start the season. And so it's unfortunate that you're dropping these games against the Magic last night or the Jazz the other day. Just these games that you really need to get wins when you can because of some of the teams coming up later in the schedule.
Yeah. Yeah, I think that's right. I feel like they should be 6-4, right? You win that first Philadelphia game, you win that Jazz game. Again, not that different than 4-6, right? But I mean, this is a 500 team. That's what Vegas says. That's what we feel. So they're kind of right where we thought they would be, right?
Yeah.
All right. Next stats. Your Boston Celtics rank seventh lowest scoring offense in the league.
Yeah. So I think we should talk a lot about this today, this topic, and there's multiple ways you can go with this. The first guy that jumps out at me is obviously Derrick White, who just 10 games in can't seem to find any way to get any efficiency from three, and he's done okay at making plays for others, right? He's not been a total liability on the offensive end, but you really want him to be your second scorer when it's all said and done. And, going 1 of 6 from three in every game, it's just not going to work.
Yeah, I agree. In fact, he is not your second scorer. That would be somebody else. He's your third scorer, averaging 14.3 points per game. But here's the killer. He's averaging 26.4 from three and 33% from the field.
Exactly.
It's his least efficient season ever.
And right, the first couple games we were like, yeah, he's gonna get out of this. He's gonna get into
And he still might. He still might.
Yes, but 10 games in is a decent sample size where you start to think about maybe, changing up his mechanics or, throwing just something random in there, like maybe he comes off the bench for a game, maybe that jump starts him, just something drastic where you can try and it's early in the season, you try and jumpstart him some way, somehow.
Yeah, I don't think it's a mechanics thing. I think it's, as we've talked about on previous shows, it's just the change of his role, right? Since this is a Statistics Saturday, your number three scorer, Anthony Simons, who is only 0.3 points per game behind White at 14 points per game. So now he's benefiting from coming off the bench, right? So question would be,
well, I disagree with that actually.
Okay.
Anthony Simmons, he plays just 2 minutes last night in the first half. Like, I know Joe Mazzulla is like play the guys that are rolling, but Anthony Simons is a full-time starter. You can't really just disrespect him like that, playing him 2 minutes in the first half. Like,
it's not great.
That just seems wrong from Joe Mazzulla's end, like not managing your team.
So you might be right. I'm going to say I don't think that's the problem. I'm going to tell you what the problem is right now, and I want you to react.
I know what you're going to say, but
The Boston Celtics rank last in the NBA in the following three, not 3 points, three categories: pace of play, assist percentage, and free
Mm-hmm.
throw rate.
Yep.
Last.
Mm-hmm.
You ain't gonna win a lot of games like that.
Um, the free throw rate is, it is what it is, right? They just don't have the guys that are without Jason Tatum, that are getting to the line more. And Jaylen Brown, we always talk about Jason Tatum historically not getting a great whistle. Jaylen Brown gets a lot worse of a whistle than Jason
Well,
Tatum does.
lately he's been barking and I think they've told him to stop in no in both words and deeds, right? Not
Mhm.
getting that call at the end of the game, right? And
Right. I
so
mean, that was, truly
yep,
awful call.
egregious. Um, Now it's interesting we talk about Jaylen Brown because I have quite a number of Jaylen Brown stats for you. First off, he is averaging 28.1 points a game. That's it's pretty good.
And pretty
And
efficient.
and he has 6 plus point games,
Yeah.
tied for second in the NBA, only behind SGA.
You know how many 30-point games he had last year total?
No statistics Saturday, tell me.
9.
Yeah. So
And he has 6 already.
he is definitely pouring it on to carry this team, and he's shooting pretty well. He is
Hmm.
shooting 53.5% overall. So I know we've sort of complained a little bit about some of his shots, but he is incredibly efficient from two these days.
And we've talked about this before, and I talked about this last night in the post game show, which you can check out. But Jaylen Brown, we're not seeing the athleticism or the aggressiveness that we've seen in the past. I think that's partly because he's trying to conserve energy for multiple games on end, playing 40 minutes a night. But he's just taking what the defense is giving him, right?
Yeah,
If he's giving them pull up threes, he's taking them and knocking them down. If they're letting him get into the paint, then he's going to the rim or shooting his, quote unquote bread and butter shot, uh,
yeah.
which is that, mid range, really tough floater. But for him, it's a perfect shot for him.
Well, he is almost just a hair shy of 61% on 2-point shots. So that's pretty remarkable. I think he is exactly right. He's taking what they're giving him and he's converting. Do you want to take a pause here?
No, we can go on.
So
Yeah, I
he's
think I don't know if that's gonna stay. um, throughout the entire season. I think that, that's going to come down a little bit. Um, but in order to keep that as high as it is, you need someone else to, take the pressure off of him because eventually teams are just going to focus on him and he's going to be taken out of plays.
That's right. I mean, he really is having, I think, an incredible season, right? He's overall shooting 53.5%, almost 61 for two. He's still averaging 4.9, so five rebounds a game and over 4 assists a game, which now that's not a huge assist number, but he's doing a lot of scoring, right? He is the ninth leading scorer in the NBA. So, if he goes down on that knee, I don't think we win a game.
No, I don't think so either. And I think he's first actually in overall scoring, something like that, first or second. They played more games, obviously, so that's how that
Right.
factors in. But you know, the NBA, they count points per game. They don't count total points, but the total
Yeah.
points speaks to his availability and his
Yeah.
impact on the court. So if he wins,
And the minutes.
right, if he wins total points for the year, which I'm not saying he's going to, but if he's anywhere in the top 10 in total points, top 5 maybe total points, um that tells you that he was available leading this team the entire season.
Yeah. No, I mean, I think he is single-handedly keeping us at 500,
Yeah.
basically, right? I mean, I'll give you one more stat. I have one more special stat for you to react to
For
today. And I
Jaylen
know,
Brown.
no, just a holistic
Oh, and
stat.
let me say one more thing on Jaylen Brown.
Let's go on JB one more.
I think I think you got to get those assists up a little bit more if you're him, right? 5 assists a game is you really want that to be up
Four.
for, well,
Four.
it's 4.9.
I had 4.2. Is it 4.9? I had
Maybe it's
4.9
4.2.
rebounds a game,
Yeah,
4.2
4.2.
assists.
Right. So the 5 rebounds have to come up a little bit. He's never been a rebounder, but I
No.
don't think that's because he's a bad rebounder. I just think he's never needed to do that with Jason Tatum handling it. Um,
Yeah.
and we've seen that when he puts his mind to it, he's definitely can go in and grab rebounds and play that way. And I just think it's a mindset that takes some time to get used to. As for the
You,
assists,
you,
I don't know the number, but it'd be nice to look at the potential assists. Because it might be his assist might be impacted by the fact that none of the guards around him can make shots. Until Peyton
yeah,
Pritchard's
that's fair.
breakthrough last night. But right, if
Right. I
he's
mean, if they,
passing, he has 3 guards out there with him who to start the season have been awful from three. So if that's how he's making plays for others, his assists are not going to show up.
yeah, I wonder how many assists he would have if Pritchard and White were actually hitting shots. Maybe he's 7 assists a game, something, right? Which all of a sudden looks a lot better. Um, but I think I think part of the problem, yeah, you want to get his rebounds up, you want to get his assists up. It takes 5 guys to win a basketball game, right? I mean, he's not Superman, right? He can't do everything, which leads me to one of my um, last stats, which is sort of, I think, very telling. We know this team. We know Joe Mazzulla's style of basketball. We know the Celtics style of basketball. And so um, that has been how this team goes. Maybe you love it, maybe you hate it. There's a lot of people complaining. I think that it's not fun to watch that style of basketball. Regardless, Celtics are, I'm going to ask you, where do they rank for 3-point percentage in the NBA this season?
My guess is they're 25th.
They are fourth worst.
So yeah,
Fourth
so
worst.
26.
26.
Yeah, so it
Yeah.
wasn't far off.
And and they are still taking.
Hmm.
I mean, it was number one. I don't think it's number one anymore, but it was maybe they're still top 3 or 4, right? In terms of 3-pointers taken. And so that's why you are losing. Right?
Plain and simple.
Plain and simple. If you just go to middle of the pack, 15th, you win more games,
You win these
right?
games.
Yeah, you don't even have to be top 5, top 3, top 2.
Yeah, it seems like that's something that's not going to change. It doesn't
Well,
doesn't seem like Joe Mazzulla is going to continue to chuck up threes, or have his guys chuck up threes. And with the pace being as slow as it is right now, they're not getting these easy points just on layups and stuff. It's all on stagnant offense, really.
yeah, it does seem like they are. I mean, given the amount of twos that Jaylen Brown's shooting, it does seem like they are looking for some more easy buckets. I
Hmm.
mean, I think you can win a lot of games converting 61% of your 2-point shots, right? I mean,
You
that's going to
can't,
win a lot of games
but
too.
you also can't take 63s and only make 12 of them.
No, well, you can. You just don't win.
Yeah. What was that game? It was the Jazz game that they shot, I
Yeah.
think, 59 threes and made 11 of them or something like that.
Yes.
I mean, and you had a lead in that game.
Well, so think about that. Let's do that math for a second. So that was, we'll just for round numbers called 60 possessions, and it
Hmm.
got you 33 points, right? You make 11 of those, right?
Right.
So if you instead, now you can't shoot all twos, but if you did shoot all twos and you convert at Jaylen Brown 61%, right?
Right.
You end up with twice the points. Now we know that's not how it works, but you probably at a higher 2-point conversion rate. Now, when you're shooting that badly, you probably end up with 8 or 10 more points minimum a game. And
Which
that
would have
wins you
won
that game by
them
a wide
that
margin,
game. Right. Yeah.
wide margin. So, but look, I think they're aware of that. I do think you're going to see some more 2-point shots. I really do. I think they're going to move a little bit more inside, and try maybe, they've been doing some post up with Kata a little bit, and
Mhm. I thought
you know,
Kata's, been playing pretty well as of lately.
I think so too.
I
He's
think,
definitely stepping up.
and it's the offensive side that I'm most intrigued about because the defense, right? I think for the most part, he's pretty solid on the defensive end. Yes, sometimes he gets a couple rebounds or he's out of position a little bit, but We came into the season saying this offense, they have a lot of star power with Simons coming in with, just the guys that they still have here. And defense was going to be the problem. And boy, were we absolutely wrong about that. I mean, it's been
Yeah,
the
defense has
exact
been
opposite.
good enough.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, you
Okay,
give
I
up,
actually do think they did.
I
Go
think
ahead.
the Celtics were only giving up like 109 points a game or something like that. Good for like um I think top 10 defense. Obviously that
Yeah.
changed with the Magic loss, but a top 10 defense in terms of points allowed, your defense isn't the problem. Um,
Yeah. I think I agree. I mean, scoring is clearly the problem. And we couldn't have been more wrong. And by the way, everybody was wrong. It's like, oh, these guys are going to score points, but how are they going to protect the rim? How are they going to keep them out of the paint? And like, so far, I've done pretty good job there.
yeah, I
So
think,
the question is it going to bounce back? Is this just like a bad run here? Because that happens. And are we going to go back and start to revert to the mean and score more points?
but I don't.
Or is this the reality?
But when like their overall flow hasn't been perfect on the offensive end, but they've had, they haven't been great at passing. I think that's part of the problem. They haven't been able to get guys wide open shots. But those wide open shots that they are getting, if you're just not knocking them down, like how do you fix the offense if you're Joe Mazzulla, right? Like at some point you're hoping that it will come around and they'll start making shots. But if they never make shots, like that's not on Joe Mazzulla after that point. If they're just he's doing all the right things, guys just can't make shots. I don't know what you do if Derrick White continues to shoot like this.
Yeah, I mean,
Because
it's
you can't take him out of the lineup because you need him for so many other things that
yeah.
he just is becoming an offensive liability that you have to play.
I mean, it's the age-old question, right? When you got talent on the floor and the team doesn't win, is it the team or is it the coach? And the
Mm-hmm.
answer is yes, right? The answer is
That's not
yes.
an answer.
It is an answer. It's some of both. Joe Mazzulla needs to figure out the formula with what's going on to score 5 to 10 more points a game. That wins you a couple more games. Same time, these are pros. They got to fix it. Derrick White, you can't shoot 26.4 from three. You can shoot 32 from three. Fine. Okay, I'm just saying that's like you got to get it. You got to get it together. So both these guys have to figure it out.
Or just don't take threes. Like,
I do worry though with the size of this team. If you don't have any threat from the
oh
perimeter,
yeah, you need
you're toast.
you have
Yeah, like
the
you're
lineup's so
gonna get.
small at some points in the game. You just need some guys that can, you know,
I mean,
you're
you're
not going
gonna
to get.
average 12 blocks a game on you.
Yeah,
if you
exactly.
try and if you
Yeah,
try and go to the paint all the time with a whole bunch of 5 foot 11, 11 guys.
yeah, I agree with that.
So you sort of,
Which was why it
that
was.
is the one, the threes still open up the twos for you, even though you're missing.
I was thinking about this the other day. You have White, Pritchard, and Simons. I think if we say Brown's a constant every night, I think you need two out of those three guys each night to show up. Right? It doesn't
Yeah,
have to
that's
be the
right.
same three guys, but you need two of those guys to show up. You can't have all three of them just being no shows. Um,
Yeah, I actually agree. I do think one thing that's good about it, even though they're shooting terribly from three, they all have a lot of respect. And so even though they're you're never going to leave them open, is my point, right? You're not going to cheat off Derrick White and give him open looks on threes or Pritchard,
mhm,
right? So as long as they're shooting, even though they're missing, guys have to come defend that, which is
right,
spacing the floor and opening up the twos. But
right.
I think you're right. You need two of those three guys to show up, and Brown has to have a at least a B plus A minus game every night.
Yeah, I mean, but on that topic, you got to make the extra pass. Then, if you're getting guys open, you got to be able to find the guy that's open, and that guy should not be standing 10 feet away on the perimeter as well. They should be in the paint or all the way across the court, right? The spacing has to be spread out enough that one guy's not guarding two of your players.
Yeah. Yeah, that's definitely true. I think, my view is shooters got to shoot. And by the way, that's everybody's view.
Yeah.
That's not a hot take anybody's watching, but the shooters got to shoot. So I think you have to trust that Pritchard, White, even in the change of the scenario for those guys, they got to keep shooting.
Mhm.
Because what happens if those guys lose confidence and stop shooting? Then you're really in trouble. Like really, really in trouble, right? Because not only are they going to be awful on the floor, there's no trade value. So, like, not that I think we want to trade them, but so um
At, at what point, as we sort of wrap it up here, at what point do we call this season? Do we go into the tank, or do we decide that we're going all in? Because AJ Devanza over here looks like a pretty nice prospect to go after if we choose to go down that track.
yeah, I think the team has too much talent to tank. I don't actually think I think even if you tank, you won't even be at the bottom or even close.
Right.
So
So
tanking doesn't get you
you're really
anything.
stuck in a bad spot. The
Yeah,
only way
you're
is if
stuck in.
Brown doesn't play.
I mean, but then you'll just ruin Brown if you try and bench Brown.
Well,
Like,
I'm not saying
yeah,
like I'm saying if
okay,
he I'm not wishing an injury, of course, but I'm
right,
saying
right,
what if he gets injured or something and you just decide then at that point to if you're Joe Mazzulla or
shut
even
him
the
down.
organization, you just shut him down.
Yeah, I don't. I mean, look, it could always happen. He does have a bulky knee there, but like, um, I I think they're still going to win too many games. I mean, look, I don't want the
Well,
5%. I don't want the 1 in 20 odds of getting like
right,
a
because
top pick.
I guess if you're anyone in the play-in, I think if you lose that play-in game and you don't make it, you get a percentage of winning the
I
lottery.
know, but it's going to be like 2%, 1% something. Like it's no good,
The
right? Like
Dallas
that's
Mavericks
I don't like
situation is
those
not going to
odds.
happen again.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, it's like so. I think you either have to be like you're a 10-win team,
Right.
you're a 9-win team, or you just play it out and it is what it is, and like you win your 38 to 42
Yeah,
games, and you're in
and I
the
do
play in,
think
and you just
there are some solid guys besides AJ in the draft. So I think, and you're not
yeah.
looking for a star. You're just looking for a guy that is a high caliber player that can complement Jason Tatum and Jaylen Brown and whoever is here next season.
I'll just be honest. I don't think this is a draft team.
Yeah,
I don't see it. I don't
yeah,
see
but
it.
we'll wrap it up here. Thank you guys so much for watching. Follow on social media. You can check out this podcast after we are finished here on Spotify, Apple, Amazon, wherever you get your podcasts. Um, we'll be live tomorrow night as the Celtics finish up this little mini series against the Magic in Orlando here. Hopefully they can get revenge after a rough fourth quarter from the Celtics last night. Um, and then we'll probably talk again next week for an episode. Maybe you'll have an episode before that. But it's hard to believe we're already 10 games into this season.
It is. It's we're already halfway through the NFL season. We're 10 games in. You got a bunch of hockey under your belt,
Mm-hmm.
and spring training is just around the corner.
All right, all right. We'll see. This the what I forget
All
his
right.
name, the guy coming over from Japan or whatever that has
Oh yeah.
the
Yeah, the home run
45.
kid.
Yeah, he doesn't apparently he's not very good. Apparently he strikes out 35% of the time. Um
He can play good first base though.
bats 100 against fastballs over 93 miles an hour. That's not
That's
going to
impressive.
work. That's not going to work in the MLB.
Well, it doesn't matter. I mean, he just can go to the Dodgers anyway, so
Yeah, probably right.
just
Although they just re-signed what's his name? The Muncy. The
Oh, they did?
yeah, so they really don't need a third baseman. Um,
True. No, I think
but
he plays first.
yes, but Freeman is playing first.
Was he any good? Is Freeman any good?
Yeah, yeah. Except he is maybe besides my guy Kike Hernandez, the greatest postseason player of all time.
We do love Kike, so I think Otani might have a thing or two to say about that though. So,
I don't know.
all right.
Bats 100 in the regular season, then bats whatever 300 in the postseason.
Hey, a win's a win.
But yeah, until next time, go Celtics.
Go Celtics.